Hello vinyl community, from a slightly overcast UK. We did get some sunshine this week, so can't complain. This video is a competition video for the Beer and Vinyl 500 subs contest. So what a great name for a channel. So Beer, Vinyl, and if you added curry it would be absolutely perfect, wouldn't it? But so these are 5 records that remind you or you make you think about people that you like or indeed love. So without further ado, I'll pick the first one. This is for a good friend of mine and my wife's, who's going through, to say the least, some tough times at the moment with his health. So this is for you, Paul. Would much rather be doing this at a local pub and chatting to you about music, but cheers, Paul. Instead, I'll have to bore you with one of my videos. So Paul, as I say, is not in the best health at the moment, and he's done a kind of desert island discs that he talks about his life for his family and friends, and a truly inspirational man. And one of the albums that he picked, and a song that I hadn't listened to in a number of years, and I've forgotten how good both the band are and this album that this song's from. And they've just had, I think, a #1 album in the UK for the first of their career. They've been going for donkey's years. So an absolutely great band. The band are called James, and this album is laid. And Paul chose a song called Sometimes, and I think he's seen this band many, many times live, and he talked beautifully about what they meant to him. Now, I bought this album when it came out in '93, I think, and it was just before the whole Britpop thing kind of swept across the universe in the UK. And some of those late 80s Manchester kind of bands started to struggle a bit. The grunge era was starting to fizzle out. But this is a truly brilliant album. Thanks to Paul's Desert Island Discs, I listened to this again. And it is a fabulous album, produced by Brian Eno, who sometimes brings out the best in people and occasionally encourages a little bit of self-indulgence. But with this album, the band and him got it right, and it's a great album from start to finish. I think this did particularly well in America, and the song laid itself, the old Betty's on Fire song, I always remember that one being played a lot in clubs and things. But it's a brilliant album. So for Paul, who's a very good friend, great choice, Paul, and let's hope that life gets a little bit easier for you. Obviously, this second album, I've got to talk about my wife. If I didn't, I'd be probably shot. The record that always reminds me of my good lady, who I met 20 plus years ago now, and we've obviously been married for 20 years. The band that always reminds me of my wife is when we first got together. We went on a picnic, and I bought a copy of the NME because this band were on the cover, and they'd been away for a little while, and they came back with this album, and this is Oasis and Heathen Chemistry. And the first track and first single, The Hindu Times, for me is one of the great Oasis songs, and I actually listened to this album probably more than any of the others, because it's just, I don't know, it's not overplayed. The singles of this are phenomenal. Obviously, Hindu Times, Stop Crying Your Heart Out, for all us England football fans at the time. That was used as the inevitable exit music when we got knocked out by someone. Little by Little, Songbird, She's Love, and then the closing tracks, there's one called Born on a Different Cloud, which I think has Johnny Marr on that one. It's an absolutely fabulous song. And then one of Liam's best songs, Better Man. I think the last 2 songs are Liam's songs. It's a really, really good album. So Heathen Chemistry, this reminds me of Mrs. Gav Axman Spins, so who's had to put up with me for all these years, buying all these records. Yeah, that's for Mrs. Norman. Got to talk about my mum and dad if we're talking about music. I have to put a correction in. One of my previous videos, I suggested that the Tubular Bells album was my dad's. No, it wasn't. It was my mum. So sorry, Mum. Yeah, Tubular Bells was hers. because as she pointed out to me, if it was in good condition and playable, it's hers. If it was scratched and knackered, it was probably my dad's, because he doesn't look after his records. But Mum, Best of Cream, absolutely great album, and this is her copy, which I think she told me she managed to get from Boots the Chemist or something like that, and they had listening booths, so somebody had mentioned them and she went and listened to this, and this is the very copy. But great cover on the back there, I think in a dingy pub somewhere, but you can't really go wrong with this, can you? Sunshine of Your Love, Badge, Crossroads, White Room, Born Under a Bad Sign, Spoonful, that's a great song, Tales of Brave Ulysses, Strange Brew, I Feel Free, brilliant album. That will always remind me of me dear old mum. Next up is my sister. There's a bit of an age gap between me and my sister, so so this album reminds me, because when she was in the womb as such, we went on a family holiday, and one of the songs from this, whenever it was on the car, I think we taped it, she's always kick. So the album's Queen the Works, and the song was I Want to Break Free, and this album will always remind me of my sister before she was born. So there you go, and obviously she's very lucky to have such a handsome older brother, but that's for my sister. And finally, this one's for my dad. Dad's musical tastes are at times great, at times not so great, and he has a habit of, one of those people, when he knows I've got a lot of records, he'll always try and point out what I haven't got. So he'll try and suggest I should have the Burundi Black album endlessly. And I don't know who Burundi Black are, but it's one he always goes on about. I've never ever seen a Burundi Black album in my life, but this one is one of his, and this will always remind my dad. This is one of the rare examples of his good taste. This is Santana, the third album. So first of all, look at that cover. I think that might be one of my favourite album covers of all time. Bunch of funky dudes on the back in the gatefold, but this album is absolutely tremendous. The track in particular that I always play to death is No One to Depend On. Absolutely great song, but the whole album's great. Latin, rocky, jazzy stuff, but it's a fabulous album, and they changed direction after this, but for me this will always be their best album. Love that album, so listen to that I think throughout my childhood, and that's one of those what I call a stereo album. That No One to Depend On song, the guitars cross from left to right, and there's all kinds of things going on, right up there with bands like Led Zeppelin. I think they were on that album. So there you go, those are my 5 albums for people I love. Couple of thank yous to Matthew Street, who shared one of my videos. Thanks, Matt. Yeah, I think he's one of the few people that understood the Beatle one was not meant to be taken seriously. Jim Wood, as ever, always very encouraging, and Beatle Dave has also been helping the channel out, so thank you to those guys. Keeping this one short because we had a thunder and lightning storm the other day that has took out the BT junction box, so we're without Wi-Fi, so this is all on 4G, and my wife will shout at me if I upload too long and incur the inevitable charge. So yeah, so thanks for watching. More to come. Thanks to all those who have liked and subscribed. The channel's doing very well, so you know, beyond what I thought we'd be at this point in time. So still a new channel. If you are watching this on YouTube and you've enjoyed the video, if you could like, and if you could go and subscribe, that'd be marvellous, because obviously that'll help me for future videos, and obviously you'll be notified then when they land as such. But for those watching in Facebook world and Instagram world, thank you again, everyone who's watching. Really pleased. One of the videos went past 1,000 views, which absolutely astounded me, and there's a sequel to that one coming. So once again, we're just coming up to the 10-minute mark, so thanks all, and obviously subscribe to the Beer and Vinyl and Curry channel, which those 3 things probably are should be on my gravestone, really, because that's all you need in life. But thank you one and all, and I'll see you on the next one.